Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is BryanCPSteele, and I will be your nerd today and every other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. Alright, so I know it's been a couple of weeks since I've had a recorded episode. So let's do the Week in Bryan. Let's see, personally, kids are getting ready to be done with school for the summer. Still trying to be on track with the whole diet plan thing. That's not a lot going on. Got to go see my mom for Mother's Day, so that was nice. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's kind of been with all the Kickstarter stuff going on. I've been kind of very focused on work stuff, which. Let's go ahead and bleed into work stuff. So yeah, put some words down for the Shadowrun novel. Still, engines full ahead on cool Warzone Eternal stuff because that Kickstarter is still ongoing, obviously, as of today's video. But we've got some very cool stuff. The Graviton protocol got unlocked. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. Let's see, what else? Painting. Got some stuff painted. In fact, one of the things that I did get painted has been a kind of tightly kept secret for a while, and that's the Nephirite of Algaroth. He's not quite unlocked yet as an add-on for the Kickstarter, but hopefully soon he will be. And there's some other cool stuff that's kind of coming along down the path as well. Other than that, spend most of my days working on role-playing games through Evil Genius Gaming, which, I can talk about that now. Is I am the line producer, the producer for the Pacific Rim Dominion of Iron cinematic adventure path that is currently at Kickstarter. You can find the link to it below. In the description of video, and basically it's an everyday hero cinematic game that takes you from first level all the way through 10th level, and it's set in the Pacific Rim universe, set with the studios, the film studios permission. We are fully licensed. It is an official game through them. We've got a bunch of cool kaiju, a bunch of neat Jaegers and Jaeger equipment. It's even some things that you haven't quite seen in comic books or anything, or any of the videos or the movies or the anime that was on Netflix. There's some stuff there that you still haven't seen that we are able to create through our game. So it's very, very cool. You should totally check it out. Even if you just end up getting the digital version just to have the rules for your own, so you should totally check it out. Which also goes along with if you're a big fan of King Kong, there's a sister game on the same Kickstarter called King Kong Skull Island, that is an Everyday Heroes cinematic adventure path set on King Kong Skull Island. So you knew where we were going with that. You should totally check that stuff out. It's very, very cool. That's what I've been working on, is orchestrating that. I got to put two very, very cool authors on it, as with myself and Chris Ramsley, and that's Joseph Blomquist and Monica. I'm gonna butcher her name. Vertinicelli. I'm always gonna butcher Monica's name, but because she's just Monica and she's awesome. But yeah, we're the four horsemen of the Pac Rim Apocalypse that we're penning that cinematic adventure path and its companion, the Engineering Guide to Jaegers. But yeah, so that's been pretty much my day to day. There's some other stuff along in the background there that is all protected under NDAs and all that kind of stuff. So I can't talk too much about that, but more to come in the future. But right now, the big role playing thing that I'm working on right now is the Pacific Rim stuff. Speaking of role-playing game stuff, some dear friends of mine have another Kickstarter. There's a theme today. Have another Kickstarter for Kaboa. Kaboa is a South American role-playing game setting, as in it's based in South American mythos, in legendary, that sort of thing. And the book itself is really cool because it's set up that you can actually play it for either like 5e or Pathfinder, Pathfinder 2 specifically, or the what's that new one? Oh, I'm gonna look it up. It starts with a C. I can't remember what it is. For Kobold Press's core fantasy role playing, the what's known as Project Black Flag. Yeah, so they're actually making this setting book with rule sets that you can play in whatever system that you want. So it's pretty cool. You should go check it out. It has already hit funding. And to get a digital copy of the game is all of like $35. So it's totally worth it. It supports a really cool set of guys and gals. Use the link below. Use the link that I've got up on the in the description of this video, because I do want them to know that I sent you. I want them to know that I'm doing the work and letting them know that letting people know that it's worth checking out. It's a cool. The art is gorgeous. Even just the art samples they've got on the thing is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, you'll want to take a look at that when you get a chance. Let's see what that. Oh, gaming. I got to play a little bit of the Waking Realms game now that it's been rescheduled. So I got to play. We play a shorter stints, but we play a little more religiously every other Wednesday, whereas we had a lot of cancellations before when it was on Fridays. This time we're fighting some weird cultists that trying to bring about the end of the world. Some real Cthulhu, bring about the old ones kind of thing. And what's funny is that this guy that we were chasing, this cultist guy through the streets, and he turned around and he said some stuff in a language that nobody understood, and a bunch of people's ears are melting and all brains are melting out of their heads and all that kind of stuff. And what was funny is that the game master kept saying, he says something in a language that you don't understand. He says something in a language you don't understand. And after the second time, I went, wait a minute. I'm a high enough level monk. I do understand, and it is just I have the ability to understand all spoken languages. And so every time he was doing one of these like weird psychic curse incantations or whatever, Michael would have to take a second and like send me a private message. Everyone else hears the black speech, and he sends me this message, and he's like putting it out in like words of what this guy's saying. It was pretty cool. It was neat. We're about ready to confront a bunch of like governmental mages. Like they run the city, and I get the impression that there's at least one of them that's going to be fully corrupt, a member of the cult, and we're gonna have to try and root him out and deal with him. I assume. I could be wrong, but that's the feeling that I get from that. Gaming wise, I also got to do some demo games of Warzone Eternal at the local store. Showed some people how to play, answered some questions, and then did a little private play testing of my own to make sure that some new stuff that's coming down the pipe on the horizon is ready to rock and roll when it's time to rock and roll. Yeah, so that's pretty much the week in Bryan, or the last 2 weeks if you didn't catch my live. That's really it. I work a lot, I play some video games, and occasionally I get a game or two in of something that's more fun and in person. This weekend coming up, I've got my my wife's D&T game, The Land of Monsters, where we just learned that we have to get we're on basically kind of like a holy quest. We've got to get adamant to melt down to make adamantine, but in the breath of a dragon, and in her world, dragons have been like, you know, not extinct, but like missing, and so it'll be cool. It's neat to get some cool epic feels running around doing stuff. And I think that's just about it on the gaming front. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say that, you know, I played 5 games of this and 10 games of that and whatnot, but I haven't. Been too busy. Which brings us, I guess, full circle back to the Kickstarter. So that's what I wanted to do today. I know this is going to be a very long video. It's going to be more or less kind of a check-in, but I did want to. I wanted to go ahead and basically let everybody know that things are going really well. That on the back end, there really still hasn't been a day where we've truly lost money on the Kickstarter. There's been a few days with net zero growth, but not really anything in the way of like that we've lost funding, that, you know, it's a backslide. We're in those slow doldrums. At the time of this video, the time of recording this video, we are at 136,688 backers, and so we're getting really close to. We've had all kinds of good unlocks. Which, well, I'm gonna go down the list and the train and talk about all the cool stuff as we go. It's doing really good. You know, Alex and Jake and Rick and I, we've all talked. We know that, you know, at this point, this game is for real. It's going to be a thing. It's going to be in stores. And we're really excited to know that, you know, and to know that there's going to be more to come, that the retailers that are signing on, the people who are you know, getting involved and showing their retail store that says, hey, you know, I want to be able to buy from you if I can, you know, especially those future products down the, you know, those Wave 2 minis, Wave 3 minis, Wave 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, beyond there, the fact that we know that that's not only feasible, that it's a probable at this point, that we're going to be able to keep this engine moving so long as we keep, you know, telling people cool stuff, coming up with neat models, coming up with neat rules, publishing neat scenarios. So that's it's really exciting. It's cool to know that you know, that year that we took off made a difference. It really did. All right, so let's take a look. Starting at the top. 13 days left to go. So I know that I said this is the halfway mark. Technically, it's a little past the halfway mark, but, you know, at this point, you know, we are almost at 200% of goal. That would be awesome. I mean, obviously we would love to go higher, but just reaching that 200% of goal is such a cool benchmark. You know, like, of the pledges, we've got all kinds of different backers, but there are 2 that I want to point out very specifically. So we have, first off, there is, where are you? Was it the cartel backer? It's the retail pledge is the one that trying to remember. No, where is it at? I can't find you. Because I thought... Oh, alright, well... Oh, here we go. No, that's not right either. I don't know. But we've done a decent amount of just straight up, you know, they wanted to be a part. Oh, there we go, the retail pledge. So we've gotten 20 people, 20 different stores to sign up for the retail pledge. And while you know, a lot of times you look at it and go, 20 stores doesn't sound very much, but for literally a startup company with these guys have they don't know us from anybody. That we've gotten 20 stores that are willing to at least talk about getting into that retail level and being our, you know, our boots on the ground. That's awesome. That's so cool. So that's a big deal. And then the two that I wanted to talk about that made me go, whoa, is that we've got one backer who did the full hunter, which is they get all the starter boxes, but they get one of the faction starter boxes for free, or not free, early as a pre-master at either Gen Con or Adepticon, and they get to hang out with us and party. So I'm excited about that because I do know, and I think toward the end of the campaign we might see at least one more of these, because I do know that there are a few people whose pledges have gotten pretty high already, like the amount of money that they're putting in, which is awesome. Thank you very much for that to happen. But it wouldn't take all that much more to scoot themselves up to that 1,000 and be part of this cool, unique individual experience with us. And then the other thing is the one that got me and I went, whoa, is the Supreme Necromagus. That's the one where not only are you getting all the stuff, you're getting all the faction starters, you're getting all the acrylics, you're getting all the templates, you know, you're getting all this cool stuff, but then you also get to work with us to create one of the next units in wave 2 or 3, probably 3 because most of 2 is already ready. But yeah, I'm pumped that happened. I would love to see more of those, not just from a money Kickstarter situation, just in general. I think I would be very excited to see that. Also, it's a way so whoever that is who did that, they have an opportunity to create something that maybe never got a model in past versions, or maybe it's their favorite unit, like their favorite unit, hands down, that they're dying to see that unit, and they know that it'll be, if it's left up to normal people's devices, it might be a couple years, so they kind of want to jump the queue and get this guy in the slot. Or maybe it's something a little more weird and unique, like this particular unit, they liked it, it's got some kind of sentimental value for them, and they want to make it happen. Whatever the case may be, is that we get to work with them and make that a reality. I hope that whoever it is, I hope that we all get to work together to make something super, super rad that that really will stand out for them from now until whenever, as Warzone Eternal continues down the road, and that they introduce new players to the game, and I want those people to be able to look at that guy and go, hey, I'm the one that helped make this a reality. That would be awesome. That would be so great. All right, so let's take a look at everything that has been unlocked so far. Obviously, all the starter boxes. They were part of the initial wave, and then we also got to we have now unlocked all of the unit boxes. So if someone wants to just have every model for Bauhaus, they can just buy the 3 unit boxes. Bump, bump, bump. They don't even need a faction starter if they don't want to. And so that includes, we've got the Venetian Rangers, the Blitzers, and the Atoll Morton. So that's 3 full units, like 3 full boxes of those units, coming with different support options, different leader options. It's got a lot of stretch there. Capital, we have the starter box, we get the Free Marines, we've unlocked the Sunset Strikers, we've unlocked the Martian Banshees. Martian Banshees are some of my favorite guys. I know that you guys haven't seen them yet on the battlefield in a video or anything like that, but one of the things that they get to do is their little flying, they're kind of like impact when they hit the ground. They basically X number of inches around them, all models need to take a leadership test, and if they fail that leadership test, they're given a reaction token. So those Martian Banshees, you can actually use them as kind of like a distraction factor, that can either, you know, distract the opponents, keep them from shooting at all, or let's say they make the leadership test, then they maybe you know, after he lands, maybe they'll go ahead and take an ambush fire, still taking up the reaction. It's the Martian Banshees really are just they're one of my favorite things about Capital. Is they are a little more expensive, obviously, for points wise, but they get the job done, and they go where you need them to go. Cybertronic, we obviously have the Chasseurs, and then they got their Mirrormen box, and they also got the Attilas expansion. So the Attilas, actually, the expansion of the Attilas box comes with 2 Attilas and 3 weapon options. So you have the option for the basic assault rifle, or you can do them as a support model, either with a heavy weapon, or the heavy machine gun, or the Gehenna Puker flamethrower. They're brutes that are massive. They're crazy strong. So even if you get in a close combat with them, yeah, they don't carry a sword, but they punch harder than some people's pistols. They're super rad. Imperial, we have the starter set. We unlocked the Blood Berets unit, the Golden Lions unit, which, by the way, for you old school players out there, the Golden Lions unit box has 2 different models with a plasma carbine, and plasma is really good in Warzone Eternal. And then you get the Trencher box. The Trencher's got 3 Trencher Troopers, Trencher Leader, which is one of my favorite sculpts that we've ever done, and then a Trencher with a Charger heavy machine gun. Also very cool, a very cool model, just in general. Mishima, you got your starter faction. You get the Hatamoto box, which comes with that cool, the kind of the iconic Dragonfire machine gun support member. We have the Shinobi. The Shinobi, not only do you get the cool Shinobi sniper, but you also get the Shinobi medic. And I'll tell you this right now. The Shinobi medic, with their ability to teleport, that shift, is well worth the points every single time. They've got great battlefield mobility, and because more often than not, you know, a medic running over to help somebody is prime ambush material. That teleport is worth its weight in gold on that medic. Then you get the Shadow Walkers box, which comes with 3 of those cool Cyber Ninjas. And anybody who has fought against them in any of my demo games knows that those Shadow Walkers are brutal. They're so good. Algaroth has its starter set, and then we actually started this Kickstarter with the Razid expansion that comes with 3 different heavy weapons that you can possibly model him with. The Razid is a beast. It's got currently it's got the most wounds in the game. It has one of the highest armor ratings, and it carries a gigantic, 3 different gigantic guns, really giving it's kind of that sort of where the Necromutants do not, the Necromutants and the Undead Legionnaires don't get a bunch of support options other than a flamethrower. This is their heavy weapon platform, if you will. We unlocked more Undead Legionnaires, which is great. That box actually comes with 6 of them. It's a steal, one might say. And then we actually unlocked the Necromutant box as well, which has 3 regular Necromutants, a Necromutant Tormentor, and then it actually comes with the Centurion, which until we unlock the Nephirite, the Centurion is the only leader model in the Algaroth faction. That will change, obviously, but that's, you know, it's good to have extra Centurions. Now on to the things that we actually unlocked. For them, we unlocked the Praetorian Stalker expansion box, which is amazing. The Praetorian Stalkers are not just in gameplay, but the models are gorgeous. They're super awesome. They are everything. The Praetorian Stalkers was one of the models that I loved the most back in the day. These are even better versions of them. And I'm not just saying that because we got to design them. I really like how they turned out. All right. What else have we got? We got the Brotherhood. Their starter, the Sacred Warriors box got unlocked. Gives you 4 Sacred Warriors and a Sacred Warrior with a light machine gun / flamethrower. We've got the Brotherhood Redemption Assassin, or as my friend Jake calls him, Space Batman, which is an alternate mortificator who is not quite as sneaky as his friends, but he hits like a truck. And then you got the actual mortificator box, which is one of probably the most attractive just set of sculpts. It's 5 different mortificators, and the thing is that mortificators don't have leaders, they don't have support, they don't have medics, they're just awesome. So it's 5 just awesome dudes. And then you get the Fury Elite box, which has 3 different Fury Elites, and Fury Elites are first off, they're amazing in close combat. They've got a pretty snazzy pistol. They come with multiple rerolls for faith, but then they also have the one thing that a lot of the other armies do not have, the other factions don't have, at least at this time, is the Fury Elite has the leader trait, but has the leader of any Brotherhood models. So basically they can bring models, troopers from anywhere. They can do their applying of orders to anybody. They're super good. They're very, very versatile. And they're also one of the only human 2-wound models. Let's see, what else have we unlocked in this thing? All right, so we're going to go down the list. We've got all the kinds of cool add-ons. We're not going to really talk about those, but I want to talk about the things, actual stretch goals that we hit. So at 70,000, we unlocked the game. Yay, game. At 75,000, we put we're going to put a PDF of the different counters that you need on our website. Plus, we're going to put a page in the rule book that has those printed in case you want to Xerox them or put them on cardboard or something along those lines. At 80,000, we unlocked the first short story. One of the things that we actually, on the road to getting to this Kickstarter, is we had several authors write us very, very cool Warzone fiction. We knew that this was something that we wanted to do, is that we wanted to, there's so much, there's 30 years of Mutant Chronicle history and fiction and lore out there. And we wanted to be able to bring us some new feelings and some new stories and some new, lesser characters and stuff into the mix. So we got a diverse set of authors. We had them all write short stories, and now these short stories, we wanted to make sure that they were available to everybody that wants to read more about this Mutant Chronicles thing. So there will be electronic downloads to these that will get sent out to everybody, yeah, so that'll be cool. At 85,000, our dear friends at Death Ray Designs let us unlock faction decal sheets. So I myself, I generally don't use decals. I do freehand when I normally paint my insignias and stuff, but I know there's a lot of people out there that really, really like doing, they want that precise exact image that a decal can do. And that's what these are. These basically are, you're going to pick your faction, you're going to get various sizes of the different numbers and letters and icons, and it's going to give you an opportunity to make your figures pop. 90,000, we got some expansion boxes. 95,000, we got another short story. At 100,000, we got the Redemption Assassin, that super loud gunned killing machine. At 105, we got another short story. At 110, we unlocked more of the unit boxes available for people to buy if they wanted to. At 115, we got another short story. So at this point, you guys you're gonna have hours upon hours worth of fiction, brand new fiction that you're gonna be able to read. And one of those stories is from yours truly. At 120, we unlocked those the Algaroth Praetorians, which I gotta say, they probably are the best models in our line. I know I might be a little biased because I did some of the art direction for them, but they are amazing, And I personally think there's going to be players that aren't even playing Dark Legion that are going to buy these just to have them, to paint them, or to use them with other games. At 125,000, we went ahead and added the downed Archangel pilot. So at the beginning of the campaign, we had an early bird special that if you backed at the skirmish level or higher for the first 72 hours, you would get a free injured, basically aerospace pilot from the Brotherhood that we were going to use in particular scenarios as, you know, a very important target, you know, things like that. You know, basically kind of a very detailed, cool looking scenario piece. And so when those 72 hours came and went, but we were still just churning people, it just made sense for us to eventually make it so if you wanted to, even if you weren't part of those 72 hours, you can go ahead and buy one if you want. Or if you're part of that 72 hours and you want to buy an extra, or you want to buy 4 of them, whatever. You know, it's basically, these are very cool scenario pieces that we wanted to make sure that people had the opportunity to get if they wanted to, even if they came late to the show, so to speak. At 130,000, we unlocked the last of the unit boxes that feed into the starters. So at this point, everything that we had planned for the wave 1, so the starter wave of units, is available for purchase, for add-on, and most importantly, keep in mind, everything that we've unlocked, those retail stores are going to be able to add to their retail pledges, and they're going to be able to get them at retail at their type of cost to be able to really have a good showing at their store. So if you hear this and you're on the fence, or you have a store that you know would probably love to get in on this, get them that information, get them our thing, get them as part of that retail backer so they can get all this cool stuff for their store as part of that initial wave. That would be so awesome. At 135,000, we unlocked the Graviton Protocol. So there's a little history on the Graviton Protocol. The last year when we attempted the kind of first, the kind of false start Kickstarter that we did the first time, we had our early bird special was the Graviton Protocol, basically kind of scenario pack, and we had written some of it out. We had kind of rough formed it, like we knew what we wanted, but it never got finished. And so now, giving us an opportunity that we were like, you know what, let's go ahead and follow through with the Graviton Protocol and make it into an awesome giveaway for the campaign. And we unlocked it. We got it. Which I don't want to spoil some of the stuff that's coming in the Graviton Protocol, but it is not just scenarios. Just to let you know, there is more to it than that. And then now we are waiting. Our next unlock is at 140,000, which is going to add a bunch of new full color art to the rulebook, which is always cool to add more like value to the rulebook. At 145,000, we get another of the short stories added in, and then at 150, this is the last stretch goal that we've announced, we have others planned. So if we're in that sort of kind of stall in the middle of every Kickstarter, but when we get to those last 3-4 days, you almost always see things perk back up. You think people are getting towards the end. They know what we have unlocked. They know what we want, and we can start hopefully seeing that stuff rise, maybe with your help. And that is at 150,000, we get the Nephirite of Algaroth, the Demon Prince General of the Apostle of War. This dude's a monster, and I don't mean that figuratively. He's literally a monster. This is the first model that you're going to see that has the actual dark symmetry, dark gifts. He has in his current playtest rendition, he has 4 wounds. He's a lot of points. He's a monster. You're not going to see him in very many starter box games. but he's a beast, and I think you're gonna see a lot of of Algaroth players solely when they see what this guy's capable of. But I'm very excited for that. And then, you know, there are other things that will get unlocked, you know, as we go. But so I guess here's what I gotta say is I know there's been a lot of talk that we aren't giving enough away for free, enough physical things for free. And it really kind of comes down to every single physical element that we are putting forward. Not only is that the cost of actually creating it, but there is a certain time and energy cost of getting it made, getting it boxed, getting it put to where it needs to go. Whereas a lot of the digital elements, the things that are, or elements that are being added to a product that we already are putting out, why those are a little bit more viable stretch goals for us as a company. Because as a company, we're not big. We are tiny. It does not mean that there aren't any other possible, you know, fun things on the horizon, or fun free things that you might be getting at some point. It just means that right now we can't just, you know, run headlong into that Kickstarter wall of give them, because then we are putting ourselves into a situation where it might take much longer to fulfill, or, you know, suddenly the box grows in size and now postage is wonky. So we're hoping that you'll stay patient with us, and that at the end of the campaign, in those last couple of hours, that all the people who have just really kind of been waiting to see where things go, waiting to see how the campaign goes, that they'll get that bite of I want to get cool Warzone stuff, and they'll jump in with full force. And then from there, it's just us getting things created, getting things written and finalized and pressed, and the PDFs into the situation where we can give it out, and yeah, and then it's just about making the game and getting it out there for the world to play, which is pretty cool. It's a good feeling. It really is. All right, I know this was a short episode. No, not too short actually. And it was kind of a rehash of cool things that have been happening with the Kickstarter. But that honestly has been kind of the dominant part of my existence for a little while, is Kickstarters and making games toward Kickstarters. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm hoping that when the Kickstarters are over and we're you know, ready to celebrate, that I'll be able to open my virtual doors a little bit, and you know, start doing some other topics other than just Warzone, and Evil Genius Gaming and all that kind of stuff. I'll be able to maybe spread my wings a little bit. I definitely know there's some unboxings that I want to do. The guys from Steamforged sent me some cool stuff I need to unbox. So there's some things that are going to be coming down the road that aren't, for those of you who watch this and aren't Warzone fans, or that aren't here for Pac Rim, or aren't here for, you know, those sorts of things. I promise there's more coming. There's cool stuff coming down the road. But right now I kind of do have to sort of focus on the moneymakers, so to speak. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me and being part of when, you know, every time I go live, you guys are you know, here and you're helping out and part of the situation. Now that I know how to make this thing go live, expect some more live episodes in the future. I really enjoyed those. Those are fun. But hopefully they will be a little. I'll always have a plan and not just a bunch of dead air. So on that note, I want all of you guys to be safe, please. Get vaccinated, get boosted, wear a mask if you have to, if you feel you have to. Or if you're asked to. Don't be a jerk. And just, you know, try and leave every room a little happier than when you got there. But above all else, go out there, have a good time, play some games. We'll see you on the Kickstarter. I'm going to see you in those comments. See you next week.